Hi, it's Sakura with the Superior Book Club, and this week we're reading the Dark Phoenix Saga. Now, Dark Phoenix Saga starts with issue 129, and this issue has the first appearance of the Hellfire Club, the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, the first appearance of Emma Frost, the first appearance of the Hellfire Knights, the first Sebastian Shaw, the first Donald Pierce, which you'll remember from the movie Logan, the head of the Reavers. That's only in shadow. The first Harry Leland, also only in shadow. So, this, very good comic to have. Now, with Emma Frost, I never bought her face turn when she's with Cyclops. To me, she always was and always will be a heel. In that issue, Professor X tried to give Wolverine demerits, and, well, that's it. Claremont does a slow burn, which started in issue 100 with the reveal of the Phoenix. He always meant for this to be the culmination of it, so now we're at issue 129, and we're finally getting into the meat of this slow burn. Then there was issue 130, which had the first appearance of Dazzler, and it was okay. It took place in an evil disco. So, that was pretty cool, evil disco. And then you had issue 131, which had Peter and Kitty's romance. Now, the thing with this is Peter's 18, but Kitty's only 13 and a half. So, it's kind of gross. It also talks about how powerful Phoenix is. Issue 132, Professor X is acting a little bit funny. He says he hasn't been able to connect very well telepathically with the team. Now, this is once again Claremont's slow burn, because that is the first hint of the Brood Saga, which won't happen till the 160s. Wolverine also calls Pierce the $6 Million Man, which I really liked because I really enjoyed the TV show, The $6 Million Man, with, can't remember his name right now, but then you had issue 133, which had the Hellfire Knights going against Wolverine, and he's hacking and slashing, cutting off limbs left and right. One Hellfire Knight said, "How much damage can he do?" Eventually, Donald Pierce will put the pieces of the Hellfire Knights back together with robot pieces, making the Reavers, which will show up in the movie Logan and in the Australia part of the X-Men. In issue 134, Beast shows up. Now, he's an Avenger now. I don't know why or how, but... And then we have the Dark Phoenix reveal, which is parallel to issue 100 in wording and in the costume. Similar, but not exactly the same. It's very much a callback, though. In issue 135, a lot happened. Things that I noticed is Sebastian Shaw, who's a mutant, was still pushing Senator Kelly to create Sentinels. And then to show the scope of everything, you had the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, the Silver Surfer, and the super astronauts, Dr. Peter Corbeau, who is also a medical doctor. And that was supposed to show exactly how big an effect the Dark Phoenix is having universally, not even just globally, but universally, because Silver Surfer was out in space. Now, Phoenix, she eats a sun, which is really, really powerful, because, Galactus eats planets. She ate a sun, and a miscommunication between Byrne and Claremont had all these broccoli people living on a planet that orbited around that sun dying. And there was going to be consequences later on that are that are the result of this. Also, this issue, you see the Shi'ar, which and Alondra shows exactly why they're called Spacebird Jerks, when she says that Phoenix going dark was what they feared from the beginning. If she was so afraid that Phoenix was going to become Dark Phoenix, she probably should have said something to Xavier, since, he was her boyfriend and all. In 136, everyone's just contemplating how if Galactus eats planets, his power pales in comparison to Dark Phoenix. It's the only note that I actually took on this issue, and I can't remember what happens in it. Issue 137 is the most poignant issue. It is narrated by Uatu the Watcher, and he narrates the most important events that happen in Marvel, and it takes place on the blue area of the moon. Now, Lilandra's people are going to be fighting the X-Men to... Lilandra is... I am horrible at this. They're fighting Lilandra's people. If they win, they go free. If Lilandra's people win, then Phoenix has to die. At this point, they had brought Jean back to the surface, and she's not really evil anymore, but she still has the potential to be evil. So they're fighting, and you get to see all these buildings on the blue area of the moon, which actually has an atmosphere. You get to see Uatu's house, which Wolverine goes in and is promptly kicked out of. So that's really cool. In the end, Jean has everyone weaken her so that she can end up dying by one of the machines that are on the blue area of the moon. It's really poignant because at this point, there was no Jean's at the bottom of Jamaica Bay and Phoenix had taken her form. When they wrote this was Jean Grey. Claremont wanted to just have her depowered, but after Byrne showed her killing 5 billion broccoli people, then Jim Shooter's like, no, she has to die for this. This is mass genocide. And the only way she could ever come back is if she had never, ever had killed those broccoli people to begin with, making the famous retcon necessary. And Kurt Busiek came up with that idea, and he wasn't even part of Marvel at the time. But that's a story for another day. And ask him about it. He's on Twitter, and it's a great story. But what makes the ending so powerful is that Jean is sacrificing herself. That she and Scott finally have gotten together, and then they're ripped apart. So, that is everything. I will talk to you all on the Twitterverse.